Hey everyone, and welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're going to be unpacking
Okay.
this really interesting YouTube interview with a 63-year-old physical therapist who, get this, launched his own online business.
Wow.
Talk about a late career pivot.
Yeah.
I think you'll find his story pretty inspiring, even if you're not a physical therapist,
Right.
especially if you've ever felt that itch to
Yeah.
shake things up professionally.
Yeah. What really struck me was that this guy's journey isn't unique to physical therapy.
Okay.
He's tapping into a much wider trend. People are increasingly seeking more control over their time and income.
Absolutely. He spent 33 years in physical therapy, was feeling burnt out by the daily grind,
I hear that.
and craving more flexibility and financial freedom.
Makes sense.
He actually considered those common online business models you hear about drop shipping and print on demand.
Those models can be tempting for their low barrier to entry,
Yeah.
but they often come with slim profit margins and the hassle of managing inventory. This guy was clearly aiming higher.
That's right. He wanted a business that could generate significant income without tying him down.
Okay.
He ended up going with a high-ticket digital product offering 100% commission.
Interesting.
Now, before you think, wait, what does that even mean?
Right.
We'll break it down.
It's interesting how he found this opportunity through TikTok, of
Yeah.
all places.
I know, right?
Shows how social media has become this unexpected hub for entrepreneurship.
Right. Especially for someone in his 60s.
Wow.
He even mentioned his granddaughter's reaction to seeing him on TikTok.
Really?
But hey, it worked. He joined this online community just 9 weeks before the interview
Okay.
and already felt like he'd found his people.
It's heartwarming, sure.
Yeah.
But it also highlights that he was starting from basically zero experience in this world.
Right.
There's a real learning curve he glosses over. For those of you listening who are thinking of jumping into online business,
Yeah.
don't underestimate that initial learning phase.
Yeah.
Finding the right community can be invaluable,
Yeah.
especially if, like him, you're not super tech savvy.
That's a great point. He really emphasizes how supportive and helpful everyone in this community has been and how you don't need to be a coding wizard to make this work.
Gotcha.
So he's got the product,
Yeah.
the community, but then comes the hurdle of actually putting himself out there,
Right.
which I'm sure many of you can relate to.
Definitely.
He talks about getting over his initial fear
Yeah.
and hesitancy to go live on TikTok.
Well, inspiring. This just do it attitude is. A bit of an oversimplification.
Okay.
What you do matters a lot. He might have gotten lucky, stumbling onto a niche that worked for him.
You're right. His enthusiasm is infectious. But he's only 9 weeks in.
Mm-hmm.
Is this kind of intensity sustainable long-term?
Good question.
What potential downsides
Yeah.
might he be overlooking at this early stage?
It's worth considering. And while TikTok is great for some, could he be limiting his audience by focusing solely on that platform?
Okay.
What if he branched out?
He actually shares some great insights on what worked for him on TikTok.
Yeah.
He talks about the importance of consistency, showing up regularly, and
Yeah.
coming from the heart,
Yeah.
basically. Being authentic and genuinely connecting with your audience.
That authenticity is key in any business, especially online where trust is everything.
Right.
But it goes beyond just being yourself.
Yeah.
Remember, he chose this high-ticket digital product strategy.
Yeah.
That means he's likely selling knowledge or expertise at a premium price.
Okay.
So there's a whole layer of positioning and value creation we need to unpack here.
Okay, so let's dive into what this high-ticket and 100% commission thing really means.
Yeah.
I'm guessing some of you might not be familiar with these concepts.
Instead of drop shipping physical products, he's essentially an affiliate marketer.
Okay.
That means he's promoting and selling someone else's digital product,
Interesting.
like an online course or membership, and keeping the entire sale price as his commission.
So he doesn't actually own the product.
Exactly.
Okay.
And why would someone choose this over, say, creating their own course?
That's a good question. I think it comes down to the trade-offs, right? Creating your own product takes more time and resources up front,
Mm-hmm.
but with affiliate marketing, you're leveraging someone else's existing product and audience,
Right.
which can be a faster track to generating income,
Yeah,
especially when you're starting out.
exactly. But it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. You still need to build trust, understand the product, and effectively market it to the right audience.
Okay.
And finding the right product to promote is crucial.
So back to our physical therapist. He's aiming for a pretty ambitious financial goal, $100,000 within a year.
Wow.
He actually mentions another member of his community who made $1 million in just 17 months.
Now that's the outlier. The rock star success story.
Right.
Our 63-year-old is aiming for something more modest, which is probably wise.
Yeah.
He's clearly inspired by what's possible. But those outlier examples can also be misleading.
It's a good reminder not to get caught up in hype and to set realistic expectations.
Definitely.
What I find particularly interesting is that beyond the financial aspiration,
Okay.
he keeps emphasizing the concept of paying it forward daily.
I like that.
Helping others seems like a core driver for him.
That's the heart of what's often called purpose-driven entrepreneurship.
Okay.
It's not just about the money. It's about aligning your work with your values and making a positive impact.
Right.
And that seems to be resonating strongly with a lot of people these days.
He really seems to have found his tribe in this online community.
Yeah.
He talks about how everyone is supportive and driven by a desire to help others succeed.
This community aspect is something we haven't fully explored yet.
Okay.
It clearly plays a big role in his story, but is it truly a community? Or could it be a cleverly disguised sales tactic?
That's interesting.
We need to dig deeper here.
That's a great point. It's easy to get swept up in the feel-good vibes,
Right.
but we need to look at the potential downsides as well. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, we know these online communities often have their own internal hierarchies and power dynamics. And let's not forget, everyone in this community is ultimately trying to sell the same product. Could that create unhealthy competition or pressure to conform?
Excellent point. We need to look beyond the surface and consider the potential pitfalls as well.
Absolutely.
So he's got this new business, the supportive community, and he's crushing it on TikTok. But he also has some advice for those of you just starting out in the digital space.
Okay.
And it's pretty simple. Just do it.
Oh boy.
He even reassures listeners that it's fairly simple once you're in the right community.
He makes it sound easy.
Yeah.
But let's be realistic. Success in any business takes work, dedication, and a bit of luck.
Right.
The simplicity he's referring to likely comes from the system he's using.
Right. He's found a proven model and a supportive community that's guiding him. But for those of you listening who are just starting out, finding that right system and community is a crucial first step.
For sure.
It's not just about jumping in blindly.
And even with the right system, it's important to be adaptable and willing to learn. The online business landscape is constantly changing, so staying ahead of the curve is key to long-term success.
I think that's a great place to wrap up part 1 of our deep dive. We've unpacked his motivations, the basics of his business model, and some of the potential pitfalls to watch out for.
Sounds good.
In part 2, we'll delve deeper into the specifics of this high-ticket digital product strategy and explore the pros and cons of affiliate marketing.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
Picking up where we left off, this idea of community. Being potentially manipulative is worth unpacking.
Okay.
He mentions this figure of 41,000 plus members as proof it's working.
Yeah.
But big numbers don't automatically mean ethical or sustainable.
It's almost like he's using the size of the community to validate his decision.
Yeah.
It's definitely appealing, being part of a large, successful group.
Right.
But you're right. We need to be wary of that kind of groupthink.
Absolutely.
Could it be that the community is emphasizing the positive aspects while downplaying potential challenges or risks?
It's a classic tactic. Surround yourself with success stories, and it becomes harder to question the system.
Right.
So listeners, if you're considering any online opportunity, look for balanced reviews, not just testimonials.
Excellent advice.
Yeah.
Remember, we're not saying this particular community is necessarily doing anything shady. We're simply encouraging you to be discerning consumers of information.
That makes sense.
Now let's get back to the specifics of his business model.
Okay.
He chose this high-ticket digital product with 100% commission. I'm curious to hear your take on this.
Sure.
What are the pros and cons of this approach, especially for someone starting out later in life?
Well, the high-ticket aspect is attractive because in theory, you need fewer sales to reach your income goals.
Okay.
But that also means convincing customers to shell out a significant amount of money.
Right.
The 100% commission is a powerful motivator, but it also raises some red flags.
Such as?
Think about it. Why would a product creator be willing to give away their entire profit margin? It could be a sign that the product itself is overpriced or difficult to sell without. A hard-selling approach.
That's an interesting perspective. It's easy to get excited about that 100% commission.
Right.
But we need to be realistic about what it takes to actually make those sales.
Exactly.
It's not as simple as just posting a link on TikTok. And watching the money roll in.
And here's where his background might actually be working against him.
Okay.
He's used to a profession where trust and ethics are paramount.
Right.
The online world, unfortunately, can be a lot more flexible with those things.
Okay.
He needs to be extra careful about what he's promoting.
That's a great point. It's like he's taken his integrity
Yeah.
from the world of physical therapy and brought it into this new digital landscape.
Yeah.
But as you say, the rules of the game might be a bit different here.
He needs to be wary of becoming the unwitting spokesperson for something that's not as ethical or valuable as it appears.
Yeah.
Just because his community is promoting it doesn't make it automatically good.
We also haven't talked much about
Yeah.
the product itself.
Right.
We know it's a digital product, likely an online course or membership of some kind, but what kind of knowledge or expertise is he actually selling?
That's a key question, isn't it? He mentions this other community member making $1 million in 17 months.
Yeah.
But we don't know what that person was selling either.
Right.
It's easy to get dazzled by the money, but the actual product is the foundation of any business.
He needs to be able to articulate the value of the product, explain why it's worth the high price tag, and ultimately, believe in it himself.
Right.
Otherwise, that lack of authenticity will show, and customers will see right through it.
And that brings us back to the importance of due diligence, listeners. Don't just jump into the first shiny opportunity you see. Research the product, understand the market, and consider whether it aligns with your values and expertise.
He talks a lot about taking action, but I think taking informed action is even more crucial.
Absolutely.
Don't let that fear of missing out lead you down the wrong path. Right. He's clearly a driven individual, and that's admirable.
But there's also this undercurrent of maybe naivete. He seems to have accepted this community and its methods without much critical thought.
He repeatedly mentions how simple it is.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a red flag for me.
Yeah.
No successful business is truly simple. There's always work involved. There are always challenges.
Right.
His enthusiasm is great, but it's almost bordering on delusion.
And that can be a dangerous mindset, especially in a field as competitive as online business.
Okay.
The early wins might come easy, but what happens when he hits a plateau?
Right.
Or when the algorithm changes and his TikTok strategy stops working?
That's something for all aspiring entrepreneurs to consider. What's your plan for when things inevitably get tough? How will you adapt and overcome challenges? Having that resilience and ability to pivot is essential.
He's found success by tapping into a system that's already working.
Okay.
But that system might not work forever. The question is, does he have the skills and knowledge to succeed on his own if he ever needs to?
Interesting.
Or is he overly reliant on this community and its methods?
That's a thought-provoking question. It goes back to what we were discussing earlier about the potential pitfalls of relying too heavily on a single community or platform.
Right.
Diversifying your skills and income streams is never a bad idea.
And that's where his age could actually be an advantage.
Okay.
He's got decades of life experience to draw from. He's likely got a network of contacts outside of this online world.
Right.
Those are assets that younger entrepreneurs often lack.
That's a great point. He's not just a blank slate. He's bringing a wealth of knowledge and experience to the table. The challenge is how to leverage that effectively in this new context. Let's shift gears a bit and talk about his financial goals.
Okay.
He's aiming for $100,000 in a year, which is a significant jump from his physical therapy income. Do you think that's realistic?
It's certainly possible, but let's break it down.
Okay.
He's selling a high-ticket product. Let's say it's priced at $1,000. To reach his goal, he needs to make 100 sales in a year. That's about 2 sales per week.
Doesn't sound too daunting, right? But remember, these are high-ticket sales.
Right.
He needs to find customers who are willing and able to invest that kind of money.
Exactly.
And with a 100% commission structure, he's likely competing with a lot of other affiliates.
The pressure to close those sales can be intense, and that's where ethical lines can start to blur.
Right.
He needs to be careful not to compromise his values in pursuit of those financial goals.
That's such an important point. Success shouldn't come at the cost of your integrity. It's admirable that he's driven by this desire to help others. But the line between helping and selling can get blurry in this world.
He needs to be clear about his intentions, both with himself and with his potential customers.
Okay.
Is he genuinely trying to provide value, or is he primarily focused on making a sale? That inner clarity will translate into how he communicates and interacts with his audience.
And how he navigates
Yeah.
the inevitable challenges and setbacks
Yeah.
that come with any entrepreneurial journey. Resilience, adaptability, and a strong sense of ethics are essential qualities for navigating the sometimes choppy waters of online business.
He's clearly made a splash in his first 9 weeks. But the long-term sustainability of his approach remains to be seen.
Okay.
Time will tell if he can maintain this momentum while staying true to his values.
We've covered a lot of ground in this part, really digging into the nuances of his business model and the potential pitfalls he might encounter. In the final part, we'll explore the broader implications of his story and what it means for those of you who are considering taking a similar leap.
Sounds good.
Stay with us. You brought up some really important points about the potential downsides of this guy's approach.
Yeah.
But stepping back, there's something undeniably inspiring about his story, right?
Absolutely.
At 63, he's not just coasting into retirement.
Right.
He's found this new passion, this energy for building something of his own.
It really challenges our assumptions about what's possible later in life.
Right.
He could be relaxing on a beach somewhere, but instead he's diving headfirst into the world of online business.
Right.
It's a reminder that it's never too late to reinvent yourself.
He even jokes in the interview about being the oldest guy in his online community's condo.
Oh, wow.
But he owns it. He doesn't let age define his limitations.
Good for him.
In fact, he seems to see it as an asset, something that sets him apart.
That's a powerful reframing. Instead of viewing age as a barrier, he's turning it into a strength.
Right.
And that experience likely gives him a level of patience and perspective that younger entrepreneurs might lack.
Yeah.
He's been through ups and downs. He's learned from his mistakes. And that wisdom is invaluable.
He's definitely not afraid to step outside his comfort zone and embrace new challenges.
I agree.
Think about it. He went from the familiar world of physical therapy to navigating the ever-changing landscape of TikTok and online marketing. That takes guts.
And adaptability. He had to learn new skills, adapt to new technologies, and essentially rewire his thinking about work and success. It's a testament to the human capacity for growth and reinvention no matter your age.
His story is a beacon of hope for anyone feeling stuck in a rut, whether it's career-related or just a general sense of stagnation.
Right.
It shows that change is possible, that you can create new opportunities for yourself, even if you're starting later in life.
And it highlights the importance of seeking out communities and support systems that align with your goals.
Yeah.
He repeatedly emphasizes how crucial that community has been for him, not just for the practical advice, but for the emotional support and encouragement.
It's that sense of belonging, of being part of something bigger than yourself. And that can be incredibly motivating, especially when you're facing challenges or setbacks. It's like having a cheerleading squad in your corner, pushing you to keep going.
And let's not forget, he's not just receiving support, he's also giving back.
Right?
He talks about paying it forward, helping new members find their footing in the community. It's that cycle of reciprocity that creates a truly thriving ecosystem.
So what can we take away from all of this? What are the key lessons for those of you listening who are maybe considering a similar leap into the world of online business, or just looking for a little inspiration to shake things up?
First and foremost, age is just a number.
Okay.
It shouldn't limit your aspirations or your ability to pursue new passions. He's living proof of that.
Absolutely. It's about having the courage to step outside your comfort zone, embrace new challenges, and be open to learning and growing. And it's never too late to start.
Second, find your tribe.
Okay.
Surround yourself with people who support your goals, who challenge you to think differently, and who inspire you to be your best self.
That community can be a game changer, providing the guidance, encouragement, and accountability. You need to stay motivated and on track.
Third, be discerning.
Okay.
Don't just jump into the first opportunity that comes your way. Do your research, ask questions, and make sure it aligns with your values and long-term goals.
It's about being an informed consumer of information and not getting swept up in hype or empty promises.
And finally, remember that success is a journey, not a destination. There will be ups and downs, challenges, and setbacks. It's about having the resilience to keep going, the adaptability to adjust course when needed, and the integrity to stay true to yourself throughout the process.
This deep dive into one man's story has really opened up a lot of thought-provoking angles, hasn't it?
It has.
It's a reminder that reinvention is possible, that community is powerful, and that age is truly just a number. when it comes to pursuing your dreams.
So for those of you listening who are feeling that spark of inspiration, ask yourself what possibilities are out there waiting for you. What step can you take today, no matter how small, to move closer to the life you envision?
Maybe it's exploring a new skill, connecting with like-minded individuals, or simply taking that first step outside your comfort zone, whatever it is. Remember that the journey starts with a single step.
And who knows, maybe you'll be the next inspiring story we feature on the Deep Dive.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time for another insightful exploration into the world of ideas and possibilities.
In this episode of Deep Dive, the hosts discussed the Legacy Builders program as a great and accessible option for anyone looking to start an online business in the e-learning industry. Whether you're young, a family looking to earn extra money, or even a retired person wanting a new challenge and some additional income, this program could be for you. If this sounds interesting, I encourage you to check it out. You can sign up and get immediate access to the blueprint. It's completely free, so why not give it a try? Please see the link below in the description.